Crypto morning tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's Pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning tea. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano. Zamboni bringing the data. Our FOMO index has dumped down to 23 from yesterday's 34. Bitcoin dominance 62.7%. 24-hour volumes 160 billion. The overall market cap 2.41 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, Sunday, bloody Sunday, day we've unfortunately gotten pretty used to in this epic so-called bull run has turned into Monday, bloody Monday, as markets all over the world woke up and chose violence, dumping as hard as they could before some even hitting the circuit breakers to stop economic annihilation before Sunday dinner had ended. But we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community when Bitcoin price action, well, she had a little dump. This local little rally continuing, which as of right now is breaking up and out of this cute little bear flag whose price probability plays out to 74.6-ish, which is also the support of this channel of dissension. Carving out this cute little bear flag, and the price probability of this pattern is, and sing it with me now. How you take the pole, you slide it all, the breakout point, and then we're all at 75K-ish. The 70s, I'm not sure I'm emotionally ready for that number. Lord love a duck. She didn't do just that. After sitting like an injured bird at 82K since the end of March, the market finally decided to get it over with and started to dump, heading straight down, finding a bottom and a bounce at 74.6 and is limped back up to a time of production 75.8, placing us underneath all three moving averages and carving out a new low. Now, under normal market conditions, I would expect a momentary relief rally back up to retest this new channel of eternal monotony support, now acting as resistance up at 78.5-ish. But in order to wipe out last night's dump off our psyche and regain some semblance of control, price action would have to get back up and over the 200 moving average at 84.2-ish, so the world could start scream crying a V-shaped recovery. God damn it. That wolf around that ding dong. You can see, after testing this triangle neutrality support, we finally broke out and down, almost retesting our new channel of dissension support. Not a dad alert? Yes, it is. Looks like there's some actual bullish divergence of the reversal kind, as price action has made lower lows and the MACD has made higher lows. Now, if this was to play out, I'd be looking for a retest of this channel support way up at 84.2-ish, which is also the 200 moving average target, back on the 4-hour chart. So there are some bullish corrobs at that level. Quick look at the Wookiee. Sees we did close the candle hella red, our third red candle in a row, and are currently wrestling with a 50 moving average and the 78.6% fib, trying to figure out friend or foe, support or resistance, as we are still currently at the mercy of this old bear flag, which does play out to 69K-ish. So there's still one more bearish technical that's waiting for a date to the prom. My heartbreakingly bullish delusion would be to see price action fight its way back up to rekindle its toxic relationship with the goldenest of golden ratios, the 61.8% fib, up at 81.6-ish, which is our bare minimum point of bullish return. And if you want your mind completely blown, listen to this. All of this bearish carnage, the blood on the streets, the economic calamity that has ripped around the world has only, I repeat, has only taken Bitcoin down 32% from its all-time high, a dip we saw over 6 times last bull run. It's hard to believe that the damage so far has been kept to 32%, because as painful as it may seem, we have to remember that as hard as it is to conceive, this is still absolutely normal little bull run. It's just not that much fun. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days. Yeah, we're lucky enough to have anyway. So get out there, knock 'em dead, and remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected elites. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Are on the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa. Ching.
Now, if it did seem, I don't know, did the sound seem weird to anybody? Because the reason I say that is that there was what would you call it? I guess, where's the price action here? How come there's no price? DaVinci 20 came out with beta. The sound was perfect. Interesting. So this is why I say this, and this is totally off topic. But where's the price? There it is. Totally off topic. DaVinci, where I edit those production videos, is in beta 20 right now. And the interesting thing about that is that it has a bunch of AI stuff, right? So I've been telling everyone to front run DaVinci, because I believe, all these apps like captions and everything that does everything for you, AI avatars, voice clones, all that stuff. It's very expensive now, and there's subscriptions to it, and there's generative tokens and whatnot. It sounded weird to me, just to let you know, but I'll if it sounded normal to you guys, then I'll keep doing it. I was about to say, this is what I was gonna say, is that they have this new AI audio assistant that says mix for YouTube. And you just click it, and it takes about, I don't know, a few minutes, and it just goes over everything. And I don't know, levels it up for YouTube, I suppose. Anyway, when I hear it, it's not to my ears. I would, does it bury my voice a bit? I kept on thinking about that Boogie Nights scene, where he's where he's recording the touch. You got the touch. You got the power. Anyway, at the end, they're in the mixing booth saying, is it covering my voice? Is it mudding up my voice? So that's what I thought, obviously. But every singer will always hear a mix and go, is it burying my voice a bit? Is my voice a little buried in that mix? So that's what I heard. I heard my voice buried in the mix, and some of the laughing, the people that come by and laugh was a little high. I don't know. But I guess I'll do it again tomorrow, because maybe it's optimized for YouTube in the sense that when you hear it coming through all the conversions, it maybe evens out. I don't know. But so the reason why I say front run the DaVinci is because I believe that, the next release will have what am I looking for here? We'll have all the stuff that you have to pay for in all these stupid subscription models that they have. What am I doing here? All these subscription models, they'll have it. So for $300, I think it costs for DaVinci one time. It's like old school, one time. You just buy it. There's no subscriptions. You can front run all this AI, because I believe it'll all be there. Captions, AI avatars. It already has voice clones. So I've done some voice cloning to just experiment with stuff for. I'm starting a new channel called Mingo Loves the Purr. It's just a cat purring channel, but the voice on it's going to be a voice clone that I XRP11. Now that you mention it, I did notice the laughter a little more. Well, maybe it could be suggestive programming here. If I tell you a bunch of things, you might all of a sudden hear it. But it wasn't normally what I would. What is going on with all these windows here? Oh my God! I just disappeared. Okay, 1 second. Stand by here. This is what happens. You change one thing, and then everything seems to go awry. Okay, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with the blood on the streets. Holy smokes. Oh, see, now I got to go. What's going on with this thing? That's stupid too. I got so much gear here I don't need. Fish says, my AI for my videos is $90 a month sub. It's too expensive. Plasma Punk, fun, but expensive. Yeah, well, you should try a DaVinci. It's free, but then they get the studio version. It's $300. But that's it. You never have to pay again. Which Premiere, I was on Premiere for years, and it's like $500 a month or a year or something. Like, I just want to get out. I don't want any more subscriptions. Maybe that's where the pendulum's swinging. I know everyone says that the future will be subscriptions. We'll all subscribe to everything. I just hate it, because sometimes, like, I just canceled my nothing about Bitcoin so far. I just canceled my Apple Music because I have YouTube Premium, which I do believe is an amazing subscription service, because there's no commercials, and I can't handle commercials. There's something about the frequency in commercials that just drives me cray-cray. Like, I hear it from anywhere in the house. Is that a goddamn commercial playing? I'm like, what are you doing listening to a commercial? Anyway, but at the same time, when you have the this sounds like a plug for YouTube. Listen, I hate YouTube, but I do like the service of the Premium, because you get YouTube Music, which is Apple Music. So they're all the same, Apple, Spotify, blah, blah, different little user interfaces. But so now I'm off of Apple. I was paying like $20. I had the family thing, $20 a month for it. It's like, I mean, it's cheap when you think about it. $20 a month for every piece of music ever written in the world, right? But it's at odds with me as a musician. I'm like, is it free now? Is that where we are? Is music free? And then if it's free, it's worthless. It's hard to people find value in it, I suppose. Anyway, let's get back to this Bitcoin blood on the streets. It really is insane, because we have Well, we talked about this. The first off, some of these I talked about. We talked about this. Some of these videos I don't enjoy making, and I don't enjoy putting the probability. That was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago with the bear flag that played out. I mean, and here we are. But I was having a conversation at the squash club yesterday with a buddy of mine, and he's like, "What do you think's going to happen this week?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, there's a good chance there's some negative divergence, some bearish divergence between the correlation of Bitcoin and the stock market." So when you see the stock market going down and Bitcoin holding up, and then everyone starts saying, "Oh, look at Bitcoin, it's holding up." I'm like, shh, don't talk about Bitcoin holding up just yet. Well, look at it, it's holding up. This is why we Bitcoin. Don't. And sure enough, as soon as that Sunday dump, I was just looking all day. I was just looking at my phone, and it started dumping early. Like, it usually doesn't start dumping till about 4 my time, which is Central Mountain. Sneaky Pete's on Final Cut Pro. Yeah, it's the battle of the editing software. I started on Final Cut Pro, moved to Premiere, and then moved to DaVinci. I'm not sure why now. DaVinci has its issues, but I feel like if I were to do it again, and if anyone's out there that's kind of a noob at editing, go to DaVinci. I feel like you can just get in there quick. It's almost like, what is it? Like iMovie? Is that what they used to have? The iMovie? Is that something? But it's easy for people just to walk in and kind of get in with the system. What is going on here? This is unbelievable. I blame this on DaVinci. Anyway, that is the 4-hour chart. And look, listen, this is at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway that will blow your mind. So I can correlate back to the title, because that's what YouTube likes. They don't mess with the title, right? What blew my mind as I was editing the video was the fact that with all the carnage, like it feels like all hope is lost. It feels like this is the most bearish thing we've ever seen. Seems low, does it? I don't know. Sneaky Pete, vaporizers coming out of beautiful British Columbia. He says, pain, sweet glorious pain, and a sea of red. Oh, that sea of red, yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Sneaky Pete and BC. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. What blew my mind is just the fact that with all this carnage, blood on the streets, like you would think that the absolute sky's falling. The stock market is performing worse than COVID crash. And isn't it worse than the 2008? I haven't been paying that much attention because it's just noise. You just got to keep yourself. We're in a real transformative era financially and economically through the macro geopolitical landscape that you just got to, I wish that I was on a fishing trip or something, with no signal, and I could just go, 2 weeks, this phone doesn't work, come back in 2 weeks, and then everything would be back to normal. And I'd say, what did I miss? And then everyone would be go, oh my God. And this is the other huge takeaway, and this is what I always go back to from the Japan carry trade debacle in August, is that you're going to go on with your day and no one you talk to will even know anything. They'll either just know like the marquee tidbit propaganda aspects of whether you're TDS or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the people, the base level that people talk to and argue about. Meanwhile, the big moves are going on and people are arguing about stupid shit. That's what you'll hear, right? Maybe, but no one will be talking about. And the thing is, if you really ask anyone about tariffs, and I'm no pro on tariffs, but I feel like I know more about almost everything that most people I talk to, just because I'm in it and they're not. Like, it's no slag on them. They work, 8 hours a day at some job, so they don't have the amount of time to sit there ad nauseum and go over these charts. But if you just ask them, like, which tariffs did you think are the worst? Just the weird little questions. They have no idea, right? So they're all just going off of Boomer News Network, right? No, that's bad. And then guess what? Everything will course correct and go back to normal. And then this will be one of those things that we reflect on, like we do the COVID crash, right? We always go back, and when everyone's talking about charts and price action, hey, little music here. Huh? Seems quiet in my ears. Whenever they're talking about something, they're like, yo, and this never happened before. And but that was the COVID crash. And we were like, oh yeah, I do remember that. Save the CBC, sneaky me. This is my unpopular opinion that always gets me in trouble. Sneaky. What people don't know is that the CBC is our government funded, news station. It has the worst TV shows ever made. And it has just the worst propaganda news programs you've ever seen. Like, you can't even believe how bad it is. Anyway, they get something like $1 billion from the government a year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sneaky Pete, but isn't it $1 billion? I got a couple friends who work for them, and I feel like I haven't seen them in years because I don't see anybody anymore. But like, if I were to see them, I'd just be like, I couldn't... something, whenever they talk, but you work for CBC. It's just like, it's so gross. And that's just the way it is in Canada. What was I talking about? I got off track again. Yeah, blood in the streets. We're still on the floor. E-Money, does the CBC show American shows? How did you watch all the 80s sitcoms? Well, here's the thing. We had, this is actually pretty funny too. When I was in the 80s growing up, I had a TV. It was, I'm thinking 22 inches. No, it was like, we thought it was normal, but it was small. On today's, like, I'm looking at a monitor here from my computer that's bigger than the TV I had in the 80s. Plus it had 13 push buttons that you had. Those were your channels. No remote. So changing the channel was a real commitment. It's like, are we ready to do this? Like, before I go up, are we all ready to change the channel? Yeah, okay, well, I'll go up and do it anyway. This is how it worked. Sneaky Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. 2 was CBC. 3 was, I think, PBS. 4, 5, 6 we got from Michigan. It was like WDAZ or something. It was all the American channels. 7 was called Videon, and it was just like our local station where people could pay to have their brutal shows. 8 was I think ABC. 9 was the Weather Channel. 10 was French. 11 was another VP, is called VPW, which was just our local public station where you could also do, maybe I'm getting that wrong. 12 was CKND, which was streamed from Canada, and 13 was, I think, ABC or whatever. So we got American channels. And that's, long story short, where I watched all my 80s sitcoms. Yeah, cable access. That was channel 11, and 7 was something else. Anyway, we thought we thought we were pretty good. We had a color TV. It was push button. It wasn't the and I don't know if this happened for you guys, but every now and then, if we before we had the push button, when we made it big time, we had the push button TV. We had the channel changer, and now, every now and then, I don't know why, what time, maybe it was Friday, Saturday night, if you went in between the two channels, like you didn't go click, you just kind of held it there. it wanted to switch, you would get what looked like a softcore dirty movie. Every now and then, was this in my childhood weird dreams, or did this happen for other people? Right in between. It wasn't clear. It was pretty fuzzy, but it looked like what they called a blue movie back in the day. Now maybe it was just Blue Lagoon playing 24/7 on what we called First Choice. We had First Choice and Super Channel. That was our big movie channels, and they played the same 6 movies. They played Blue Lagoon, Clan of the Cave Bear with Daryl Hannah, Victoria, someone else's. I can't remember. There's maybe three other. Tootsie. Tootsie, they played. Playing the old nipple or elbow on the static screen. Yes. Julie, yeah. Anyway, that was, let's get back. Let's give it this hey, this is a Bitcoin channel, isn't it? Well, it is, yeah. But, I mean, hey, at least there's blood on the streets to talk about. We sat through this for a solid month at really doing nothing. And then we finally broke out of this triangle. I should change this channel of dissension to red, don't you think? It has no business being green. I get that background green, red. There we go. Yeah, this is a channel of dissensions, shouldn't be green. I mean, just for your eyes, for our eyes alone. Now that 69K, that is, can you see it playing out? What is this? This is next Wednesday. We do have still a volatile week. I mean, April 9th is like full speed ahead on the tariffs, so that will be like a bumpy road. Then we got the Fed boomer dinosaurs talking about whatever their 400 PhDs wrote down in a page for them. Will all cause ripples in the economic water. So this is going to be a wild one. I mean, it's kind of fun because there's a lot to watch. I mean, what were you going to do? I mean, it'd be nice if it was at $1.50 now, the price of Bitcoin, slightly double than what this is, or less than double, but it's not. And so it's going to be an interesting week as price tries to get back to where it was. And at the end of the day, 32%. Like, let's take it just so we all kind of get our grips back. Let's go back to the 2021 bull run. Look at this one. So after exploding up 300%, and this was January 2021, we had arguably our first pullback. Let's go wick to wick here. 32%. And then after that, we recovered and went from wick from here. There's another 100% from that downturn, followed by a massive weekly red candle, wick to wick, 26%. And then we hit our first all-time high after that one. So, 2 months later, we went up another 50%. Wick to wick, turn around, 30%. Then we came back. So that's 3 already. We came back, bounced up here, got to put in another 30%. And then we came down. Holy, look at this. 50%. Well, wick to wick, I would say 52%. 52% is crazy. So that's what we've just incurred, as painful as it is and as unfun as it is to witness. It really is absolutely normal. And the problem is that we got so fragile and we got so spoiled, like a bunch of third generation rich kids, who cannot handle any type of adversity. We're like, do you remember? Like I kept on saying, we haven't even had a pull die. This is only 15%. This is only 12%. This is only 9%. This is nothing. This is nothing. We're still freaking out. Well, like we are freaking out at 10%, 11%, 12%, right? Now we're sitting at 32% and the sky's falling, right? That's it. That's it. You know, no one can handle it, which is fine. It's painful, but you just gotta, you know, you gotta zoom out. That heals all wounds for sure. Sneaky Pete, now that the market is open, I just get nonstop notifications about new 52 weeks low. Yeah, the old voice. I remember Friday on the, it stopped. The ticker has stopped, of course, because nothing's working this morning. Let's see here. If I refresh this, cocksucker. Let's see. How's that? Yeah. Oh, refreshes to an all-time, to a new low. Yeah. Something happened on Friday. We had such a busy night and it was so loud that our speaker, like our monitors, weren't doing anything. So we kind of blew our voices out. Didn't have much oompah for the Saturday night potted plants. That finally got up at 11:30. Of course, you know they sit there like, you know, I don't know, like audiences in the 60s, like old people in the 60s after songs. Then something happens and they lose their minds, you know, like the market's losing their mind today. But the market's open now, so oh my God, get your popcorn.
Make sure you like and subscribe.